go.
We have clowns.
Bring in the clowns. So.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest. So I'm going to start off with my normal really fast. Where the fuck did it go? That's the question. Here we go. So warning, the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only, which means I should probably leave the fucking room.
Do you want to do the...
What?
You opened the box, we came. You have to do that.
And my favorite picture. So I'm going to start it off with something else really fun.
We're fast.
Really? What?
Want to introduce?
Okay. Yes, of course. I went totally like ADD moment. This is Genre. I don't know if I spelled her name right. But yay, I did. This is one of Frank's friends from way back when. We're playing Ring Around the Rosie?
Yeah.
Musical chairs. So this is one of Frank's friends.
Back in high school.
From high school.
Way back when?
They used to party on the haystacks.
Yeah.
You know, like good old country folk.
I got really wasted one night and I looked down and Shauna was raving. She had glow sticks and everything. And then I came down and she just raving in front of me. I was like, I can't do this right now. I'm way too drunk.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
And yes, we have guests. And
Brent,
what's up? And he says, hello, Frank's friend.
Hello.
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 So tonight we're talking about John Wayne Gacy. As you can see, she's dressed up as Pogo. I'm dressed up as Captain fucking Spaulding. My eye actually twitched when I did that. And I wanted to start the show off with something funny.
Some quotes.
It's a quote from, you know, the late, great Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding.
The first one.
Which one?
The very first.
I farted. You want to smell it?
That is actually a quote. But that's not the one I was going to start with.
Captain Spaulding quote.
Hello, Joey. How are you, my friend? All right, so howdy, folks. You like blood, violence, freaks of nature? Well, then come on down to Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madmen. See the alligator boy. Ride my famous murder ride. Most of all, don't forget to take home some of my tasty fried chicken. It tastes so damn good. He does start clucking at the end of that, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, you want to be cool, don't you?
Yeah, I can't do it like he did it.
I know we can. Sid Haig was amazing. Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Oh, thank you. She's sharing.
Thank you for sharing out. Alrighty, so I have a shit ton of notes, and we got an expert here.
We got a person who likes it.
I'm just a little into it.
Just a smidge.
I like how we could just see her now on the thing. Sorry, babe.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just sitting back drinking. It's all on YouTube tonight. I am just going to have some colorful commentary here and there. So
look, my hair actually looks green tonight for once.
Oh, mine's like a purple blue.
Mine's all blonde and silver foxy.
I love it. I love it.
I had to pull it back because I'm going for a man tonight.
Yeah, I gave up on that because someone was like, I want to see what your beard looks like. I'm like, I ain't doing a fucking beard.
I have a beard. Do we have a beard?
Captain Spaulding had a beard.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
You did
I also, hi Andrew. I actually glued down my eyebrows and they're burning right now. So I tried the glue stick trick.
Oh.
And my eyebrows are burning right now. I may have no eyebrows after
We were all telling you in a private chat. You're like, well, his eyebrows were actually out. You didn't. Have
they
to
were
do that.
kind of, yeah. But I mean, mine are still kind of out. But you know, there's that. So all right, let's get into this. Oh, thank you so much, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Now I understand squirrel moments.
Yeah, this is the squirrel moments.
Yeah.
So
This
John Wayne Gacy. He was born.
That's where like she'll start reading, like I'll be like, "Hey, check this out!" Everything just comes down, and then like the comments come up.
We're doing great, Andrew. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So John Wayne Gacy, born March 17th, 1942, and he died May 10th, 1994. I hope I didn't ruin that for anybody.
Dead.
God.
It must have been a CIA conspiracy.
Oh goodness.
Definitely.
Traumatized.
He was an American serial killer and sex offender known as the Killer Clown. His clown name was actually Pogo the Clown, which he did many events at children's hospitals and charitable events. He was also known as Patches the Clown. We actually have...
Wasn't Patches, though? He looked different.
Let me show you, actually. I actually have both of his costumes to show off right there.
Oh,
that's him as Patches, if you can see that there.
Isn't that the Museum of Death?
That's not the Museum of Death we went to, though.
That's the one in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, because basically there's a Museum of Death. Actually,
the main one is the one in Hollywood, and they have
one in like NOLA, I think.
Yeah.
But so they focus the ones that have the things that happen on the West Coast out here, and they focus the things that happen on the East Coast in that one. And sometimes they like intermingle and like send things back and forth.
It'd be cool to actually be able to go in there and do a show.
Oh my god!
Talk to the owners.
We're not allowed to do anything basically.
Well, if we talk to the owners.
Yeah, we could probably do it in the entryway.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to squirrel moments.
Squirrel.
My name is Doug. I just met you, and I love you.
When I was ruining the movie for you when you first showed me, I was like, "He's dead," and you're like, "He's not dead." I was like, "He's dead." I was like, it's all about him. He died. He died the night before, and this is his heaven, and that's his angel.
Yeah, right. Doesn't it make that movie sad?
I ruined it. Tom,
what's that? Tutti fucking fruity. Patches and Pogo seem to have different personalities. You are correct, Brent.
Yeah. One was not as murdery.
Or one was a little more molesty, the other one was a little more murdery, stuff like that.
We're using that word from now on. I like a molesty. We're going to get Italian too here.
We're going to get Italian. Is it kind of like when we got Italian with Il Rimecio?
Rimecio! People were like, what's Il Rimecio? I was like, we'd have to show you.
About Il Rimecio. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad in real life, and then how Kemper did it, it's extra bad.
Well, it's not so much bad in real life.
Forced fellatio.
But have you seen Bang Bros?
Dear God. Okay.
I am so sorry.
Okay, let's just.
I'm sorry. Until you've seen two Marines playing gay chicken, nothing compares.
Yes, there was. You're right, Joey. Let me put this up there. So there was a character in the Spawn comics patterned after Gacy. He was called Kitty Killer Kincaid.
Well,
that's true.
Yeah, there's two things about Spawn you left out. Violator was based completely on Gacy, 100% on Gacy. That's the clown makeup. That's everything was a Violator too. So, but you are right about that too, Joey.
Like Frank is a little molesty. Using that word now, huh? Like Frank is a little molesty.
All right.
Don't testy the molesty.
So, he was also an active member in his local community for the DNC, the Democratic Party.
Democratic National Convention.
And precinct captain. And a building contractor.
And a union leader.
Which leads to his knowledge of crawl spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to Gacy, all of his murders were committed inside his ranch house near Norridge, a village in Norwood Park, metropolitan Chicago, Illinois. Typically, he would lure his victims to his home, dupe them into donning handcuffs on the pretext of demonstrating a magic trick, then rape and torture them and hold them captive before killing them either by asphyxiation, strangling, or strangling with a garrote. 26 victims were buried in the crawl space of his home. 3 others were buried elsewhere on his property. 4 were discarded in Des Plaines River. So Gacy was convicted of sodomy of a teenage boy in Waterloo, Iowa in 1968. He was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment but served 18 months. He murdered his first victim in 72, had murdered twice more by the end of 75. And at least 30 subsequent victims were killed after his divorce from his second wife in 76. The investigation to the disappearance of the Des Plaines teenager Robert Peist, I think I said that right, led to Gacy's arrest on December 21st, 1978. His conviction for 33 murders was the most by one individual in the United States history at the time. Gacy was sentenced to death on March 13th, 1980, on death row at Menard Correctional Center. He spent much of his time painting. He was executed by lethal injection at Stateville Correctional Center on May 10th, 1994.
Was
So
it
that's
94? I thought he died. Oh.
Yeah, 94.
Oh, it was Bundy who died in the 80s.
Yeah.
They put Bundy to death real fast.
Testy molesty.
Testy molesty.
Dear God.
Hi, Tom. Tom, where you been, man? We missed you. I was actually talking about you with.
By the way, Joey says yes.
Yes.
He knew about that character too.
Yeah. Well, Violators were the main
villain,
one of the main villains. So.
And Brent said, "Holy shit!" But he edited it, which is hilarious because
you don't got to edit stuff with us, bro.
we're rated mature. Hence,
we're rated super mature.
The fact that I can say shit
hence the
like
clowns. We're rated very mature.
I love this part. You miserable motherfucker. I had to leap over this counter and bash your fucking balls in.
Fuck your mama.
Goddamn motherfucker got blood all over my best clown suit. Oh, yes, we missed you. Shucks. Shucky darn, as my grandma says. I haven't
seen Tom on our feeds in a while. Like
my grandma used to go, shucky darn.
It's been tragic without him. I don't know how
the one that just moved. The one that just moved to Texas.
Oh.
She would be like, oh, shucky darn.
I was going to say I'm going to go. Shucky darn?
Shucky darn.
I'm going to use that from now on, too. I'm just going to call you up in the middle of the day. Shucky darn. Maybe come up with a little different context of it and all stuff.
Oh, God. Yes, Tom, we missed you. It's not the same without you around.
It's not as molesty.
I don't have as many squirrel moments without you here.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't have as
many weird.
Molesty moments without you here, Tom.
I'm not.
I just popped
okay. It's because before he got in trouble, but for saying shit like that. Like when I called that one guy a racist cunt when he was being a racist cunt, and I got in trouble on my own page for saying it.
Facebook's like, how dare you call someone out on a racist?
He basically was saying, he said something, I can't even say what he was saying. It involved a conspiracy involving lizard people, but also a certain ethnicity of people. And told me, it was when Facebook offered me money to shut down my Facebook. And until the election was over. And he told me...
Facebook wants lizard people to win?
No, so this guy told me I was lying. And I was like, bro, I have screenshots. Hey, Connor! And he kept saying I was lying. And then he went into this whole, like, lizard people, random ethnicity kind of thing. And, you know.
Connor. Titties! Yeah,
Titties!
Connor!
Sorry.
So back to the fun.
Oh, God damn it. You're going to make me say it already? What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh? Ain't we fucking funny? You best come up with an answer because I'm going to come back and check on you and your mama. And if you ain't got a reason why you hate clowns, I'm going to kill your whole fucking family.
I saw this meme once. It was great. It was
a meme.
I saw this meme once. Like it was great. It was a guy. Like he went in there and he's all, ha, "Your dog loves me more." And the bottom part of the meme was Captain Spaulding going, "I'll kill your whole fucking family."
He's all, I'm not being a jerk. I don't ever think you're being a jerk, Joey. Can you name all 5 of the V's from Spawn?
Right now, no. I haven't read Spawn in a while. I just know Violator was based on him, based on Gacy.
Well, we have 2.
Oh, 22 people. Damn.
Yay!
Yay, we're doing this. All right.
They're like, who is this bitch over here?
This is Pogo.
Speaking of, Pogo's supposed to join us tonight, too.
Oh, the other Pogo.
Pogo in Australia.
He shared our stuff out, too.
He already shared it out. I hope he can.
He's fucking awesome.
Pogo! Mr. and Mrs. Pogo! Hurry and join us.
All right.
Okay, so early life. John Wayne Gacy was born in Chicago on March 17th in 1942. I can't read. The second child and the only son of John Stanley Gacy and Marion Elaine Robinson. His father was an auto repair machinist, and a World War I veteran, and his mother was a homemaker. Gacy was of Polish and Danish ancestry, and his family was Catholic. His paternal grandparents, who spelled their name Gatza, which is Gatza, or Gasa, which is Gaca, had immigrated to the United States from Poland, which was then part of Prussia in Germany. Nice.
She's seen her BFF, Freddy Krueger, last night at her local haunt.
I love me some Freddy.
I wish our haunts were
We even
open.
have a poster up there.
Just underground.
Huh?
Oh, you're right. You got to know where to go.
What?
The haunts around here?
Yeah. Well, we need to
people
go.
are doing haunts in their neighborhoods.
I want to.
Rosedale, especially.
Why didn't anyone tell me about this sooner? That's all I have to say. I mean, will they let me in dressed up as Captain Spaulding?
If you say fuck a lot.
I always say fuck a lot. All right. So, Gacy was close to his mother and two sisters,
Mm-hmm.
but endured a difficult relationship with his father, who was an alcoholic and was physically abusive to all of them, to him and his sisters and his mother.
So he shared something in common with.
Well, it's
Iceman.
part of the trifecta.
Well, the Iceman. I mean, like he actually, it's kind of like the same shit. What's his face?
Well, actually, it's not part of the trifecta. I don't know if he hurt any animals when he was a kid, and I
pretty
didn't
sure
find
he
any
did.
mention of him.
But the
wetting bed.
Iceman, Richard Kuklinski.
Kuklinski.
It was the same thing. Like he actually was Polish descent, and his father beat him severely all the time.
Well, basically, his father would belittle him, calling him dumb and stupid, and comparing him to his sisters. Like, your sisters are all better than you. Your sisters do this better than you. Your sister's smarter than you. And it was like a nonstop barrage of just horrible beatings, but also like verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Do you have the stuff about the panties in there?
I think it might be on here, but if you want to mention it,
Yeah, mention it.
Yeah, he got caught with, his sister, Karen, actually went into his closet and was looking for something. I don't remember what she said it was. But she found a brown paper bag with women's silky panties in it. And he got in big trouble.
oh yeah,
So this kind of reinforced a lot of his
Personally,
tendencies, and stuff like that.
proclivity.
Yeah, like
his the
anytime
taboo nature of it.
he's caught with females or women items, his dad beat the living shit out of him. So he's like, all right, I'm just going to go with dick from now on.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
His mother tried to shield him from the abuse, which only resulted in accusations that he was a sissy and a mama's boy, who would probably grow up to be a queer.
Huh.
In quotations. Sorry if that came off weird. But
This is just the notes we're reading. It's
despite his mistreatment, Gacy still loved his father, but he was never good enough in his father's eyes.
Well, a lot of the serial killers and stuff like that, like Kemper, still loved his mother, even though he murdered his mother. But he still loved his mother. He did.
I always found it interesting. He became strictly dickly.
Freaking Cobb.
You're gonna do it.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it. This is what we do. This is how I mess her up every time. Because it brings down everything.
Thanks. Where did it all go?
Natalie!
He had homosexual tendencies that he had to hide, and I think that did cause emotional trauma. Correct. I believe that as
He
well.
was overcompensating with the female things.
Yes, definitely. So something that I also added in here is that when he was 6 years old, he was beaten unconscious by his dad with a broomstick.
Jesus
At the age of 11, he was struck in the head with a swing, and it wasn't diagnosed until he was 16, but it did result in him suffering from blackouts, which were exacerbated by his congenital heart arrhythmia. You're y'all what?
She's about to
Oh God,
pour-
vodka.
She's not pouring vodka on our computer tower.
No, I didn't pour it. I was like, where do I set this?
For the homies.
For the homies.
Hey, Sykes!
Screw your AMD Ryzen processor here.
Hi, Sykes!
It's Pogo.
Yes, emotional trauma does
It's
suck.
Pogo, not Shauna right now.
Should I have put Captain Spaulding in Pogo? We can't do that, actually.
No.
Last time it kind of like dinged
It'll
us.
glitch and ding, and it has to be actual names.
So in 1949, Gacy's father was informed his son and another boy had been caught sexually fondling a young girl. His father whipped him with a razor strap. Fucking hell.
Sharpen the razor with.
Yeah.
It's leather. And it's
As
rough
punishment.
Oh, it hurts.
Oof.
Trust me. It hurts.
The same year, a family friend and contractor would
Wait, you've
sometimes
never been
molest
with a strap?
Gacy in his truck.
I've been smacked with a belt, not a leather strap from.
No, like the thick leather straps that they
Yeah.
that the butchers will still use,
Ooh, that would
and
hurt.
actually barbers still use
Barbers,
it too.
yeah.
My grandmother one time hit me with a sideways butcher knife. She put it on the side and was like,
My grandmother beat the crap out of me with spoons, and I'd always break them. Like she'd break them on my butt, and I'd start laughing at her, and then I'd get it harder because I'd start laughing. And she took a broom, and one time because I broke all her wooden spoons, and she whacked me in the ass with the broom. The brush that like the big red one we have.
Yeah.
She whacked me in the ass with the brush and it broke, and I started laughing.
yeah, that's what happened to me. Like my grandmother stopped the spankings when I actually just looked at her and laughed. I was like, this ain't working. She's all right. Now it's grounding.
I actually went to a school that they were allowed to push strap on the strapper.
Is it terrible that I heard on strap on, strap off, the strapper?
Oh, here we go. Yes, he did with his jobs and family later, totally overcompensating. I think between that and jail time drove him to kill.
Yeah.
Definitely, Natalie.
Well, it taught him. I know we're going to get into it later, but the
We're
one thing
going to
that
squirrel right now.
a lot of serial killers learn that if the victims are alive, then there's no one to tell on them. So
You mean the victims aren't alive?
I'm sorry, yeah, the victims aren't alive.
And they're
The victims
dead.
are alive.
But there's actually interviews with people that survived
Yeah.
being with him.
Exactly.
The very last time my grandmother smacked my ass with a wooden spoon, it broke and I laughed. She never did it again. Yeah, my grandma did that quite often on my end.
Then my mom got a bigger one. Had it custom made. It said, "Spare the rod, spoil the child."
Oh God.
Then she thought it would be a great gift later in life. Here, I
Here.
thought you might want this. And
Yeah,
I was
cool.
like,
Thank you.
Can I burn it?
Hey, Tucker. How are you?
He was a good chef.
But he was a good chef. Lol.
Was he? He wasn't a cannibal.
Let's see. Gacy was an
Oh,
overweight.
no, in prison.
Yeah.
He was a chef in prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, we're having too many scroll moments. We got to get through this.
Now here's the question: when your parents ask you which belt do you want me to spank your ass with, thick or thin? I always went for the braided.
You want to go thick
Yeah, go thick.
because it doesn't cut through the air as fast.
He's laughing.
Alright,
Your
this
mom
is-
said I got a bigger one.
This is getting weird.
All
We're
right,
talking-
so Gacy was an overweight, unathletic child. Because of a heart condition, he was told to avoid all sports at school. During the 4th grade, Gacy began to experience blackouts. He was hospitalized on occasion because of seizures, and in 1957 for a burst appendix. Go thick.
I love Tom.
Go
Why
big,
do you
go
think
home.
he ended up with me? Sorry. You said go thick.
I always go thick.
Let's see. I squirreled, guys. Gacy later estimated that between the ages of 14 and 18, he had spent almost a year in the hospital and attributed the decline of his grades to missing school. His father suspected these episodes were an effort to gain sympathy and attention, and openly accused his son of faking the condition as the boy lay in the hospital bed. Although his mother and sister and a few other close friends doubted his illness, Gacy's medical condition was never conclusively diagnosed.
So we had another case of you're having seizures, and this is the 60s or 50s. Walk it off.
Walk it off.
Just walk it off every single time. This is like the MO with
50s and 60s
with kids in the 60s or 50s and 60s when they became serial killers. Just you're having a seizure. Just go ahead and walk it right off. You guys are good.
One of Gacy's friends in high school recalled several instances when his father ridiculed or beat his son without provocation. Once in 1957, he witnessed Gacy's father shouting at his son for no reason. Then he began to hit him. Gacy's mother attempted to intervene, and the friend recalled that Gacy simply put his hands up to defend himself, adding that he never struck his father back during these altercations.
That's insane. It's a lot of serial killers who've experienced violence from their parents. They never fought back. But I mean, the way they fight back is they're victims. That's what they did. They just projected everything else on her.
Joey's all thick belt, thin one leaves welts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
We're all, yeah.
My grandfather would take a leather belt or a switch, even a wooden paddle. Damn.
I had a principal at my elementary school that was allowed to whoop us with a paddle.
I was one
and
of
it had holes in
classes of Buena Vista of our elementary school here. One of where I live near. Before the district merged with Panama, and they were like they had the paddle there, but they never used it.
Oh no, it got used on me. It did. That was Mrs. Bradley.
She sounds like a Karen.
Probably dead by now. So career origins. I don't know. I wouldn't consider these his career, considering murdering became his career. But do we really want to go into this?
Well, he was very much a hard worker. I mean,
all right. So
to become what he became, he actually was very much where a lot of serial killers just kind of like screwed over their work. He was one of the few that was on point with it. He was a hard worker.
I love how they're all telling me the hole's less than wind resistance.
Yeah.
My ass knows this, okay?
And you have little imprints.
Yep.
We're talking about John Wayne Gacy, and everyone's like, no, let's talk about corporal punishment right here, or something like that.
Let's talk about spanking.
Let's talk about how I got my ass beat when I was a child. Cool, thanks.
So we know next episode, one of the future episodes we just need to do on spankings.
Apparently. I can see that getting way out of hand.
Yeah.
I have an outfit. I'm not.
Okay, we're doing this. We are doing this. I know Liz has an outfit, and now Chandra says she has an outfit. We are doing this. I will sit here in the corner while you two describe everything and talk. We're doing this.
I have a Frankenfurter outfit that on a female just looks like a hooker.
You have a Frankenfurter giant titty outfit. Everything just
went, well, yeah. Okay, so in 1960, at the age of 18, Gacy became involved in politics, working as an assistant precinct captain for the Democratic Party candidate in his neighborhood. This led to more criticism from his father, who accused his son of being a patsy. Gacy later speculated that it was to seek the acceptance from others that he never received from his father. The same year Gacy's political involvement began, his father bought him a car. That's kind of odd.
Wait, what?
Considering he hated him.
It sounded like he actually did well. For
Jessica, spanking's next!
Jessica, hey! It sounds like because I think the notes kind of like skipped over that. It sounded like he was actually, at first, he went in there saying he was a patsy. Then he actually started doing well and started doing good. So then his father bought a car.
Yeah, but he made him pay for it.
Well,
he kept the vehicle's title in his name until Gacy finished paying for it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
These monthly payments took several years for him to complete. His father would confiscate the keys to the vehicle if Gacy did not do as he was told. In 1962, Gacy purchased an extra set of keys after his father confiscated the original set. In response, his father removed the distributor cap, keeping the component for 3 days. Gacy recalled that he felt totally sick and drained after this incident. In Vegas, when his father replaced the distributor cap, Gacy drove to Vegas He found work with an ambulance service before he was transferred to work as an attendant at the Palm Mortuary. As a mortuary attendant, Gacy slept on a cot behind the embalming room. He worked there for 3 months, observing morticians embalming dead bodies. He later confessed that one evening, while alone, he had clambered into the coffin of a deceased teenage male, embracing and caressing the body before experiencing the sense of shock.
The sense of shock. The sense of... Can we just actually say what it was? It wasn't a sense of shock. It was a sense of splooge.
Yeah.
So he learned... So abuse.
Oh, look, squirrel!
Squirrel. So there was abuse, right?
Mhm.
Then there was head trauma. Then
Yeah, so he had frontal lobe damage.
he learned...
He had abuse. He did what Chikatilo did, which was found erotic pleasure in the dead.
Well,
Necrophilia.
Well, but
Chikatilo found erotic pleasure in
well,
violence.
it's
before
still
the death.
violence in a way.
Whereas, well, no, Gacy
There's a violent aspect.
didn't have control of his life, and that was the one thing that gave him control. So then he splooged everywhere.
So this prompted Gacy to call his mother the next day and ask whether his father would allow him to return home. His father agreed, and the same day he drove back to Chicago. Upon returning home, Gacy enrolled in Northwest Business College. Despite failing to graduate from high school, he graduated in '63 and took a management trainee position with the Nunn-Bush Shoe Company.
Mm-hmm.
With the dead are so sexy.
Oh, I saw it as soon as it popped up. I was like,
Did you think of TSOL?
Yes, I did. I don't even care how she died. I like it better when she smells of formaldehyde.
I want to fuck. I want to fuck.
Because I can do
the
what I
dead.
want and they won't complain.
Now we gotta play that shit.
The dead are sexy. Now we're talking about cold packing.
Bro. Jesus Christ, Tom.
In '64, a shoe company transferred him to Springfield, Illinois, to work as a salesman and eventually promoted him to manager of his department. In March of that year, he became engaged to Marilyn Myers, who was a coworker.
Marilyn Myers. What does this sound like a fitting name for someone who's going to be engaged to John Wayne Gacy? I'm John Wayne Gacy. This is my fiance,
Marilyn Myers.
Marilyn Myers.
I'm sorry your knee still hurts.
Oh, Brent, yeah, right. Yeah, TSOL. Right.
So during their courtship, Gacy joined the local JCs and worked tirelessly for them. Named key man in April of '64, that same year, he had his second homosexual experience. According to Gacy, after one of his colleagues in the Springfield JCs plied him with drinks and invited him to spend the evening on his sofa, he agreed. The colleague then performed oral sex on him while he was drunk.
What?
By '65, Gacy had risen to the position of vice president of the Springfield JCs.
So
And the same year, he was named the third most outstanding JC in the state of Illinois. I like how they just slipped in the homosexual thing.
So they just slipped. No, they didn't just slip in that. They slipped in the fact that Gacy sexed his way to the top.
Yeah.
so we met Kevin Spacey along the way.
Right?
At JC's. Spacey, JC, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, look, another squirrel.
Well,
So,
this is what we're laughing at right now. Butthead laugh.
Gacy is, so say Gacy has risen. Have you met my brother, Michael? She's Marilyn.
Damn autocorrect.
After a 6-month courtship, Gacy and Myers.
Well, you left it out.
What?
This is what Sean and I are laughing at.
Oh, the
KFC manager.
I'm getting.
That's where she's at.
Fried chicken manager.
I'm getting to that.
6-month courtship. That's the first line.
I'm sorry.
After a 6-month courtship, Gacy and Myers married in September 64. Marilyn's father subsequently purchased 3 KFCs in Waterloo, Iowa, and the couple moved there so he could manage the restaurant with the understanding that they would move to Marilyn's parents' home, vacated for the couple. The offer was lucrative. Wait, what? No. I'm sorry. The offer of being a KFC manager was lucrative.
At the time, it was.
Yeah.
It really was at the time.
You want some chicken?
Y'all want some chicken? Got your chicken.
Chicken's
I got your special herbs and spices.
Most of all, don't forget to take home some of my tasty fried chicken.
Richard!
Goddamn
Richard Choker's
motherfucker
here.
got blood all over my best clown suit.
Hey, Richard Choker's here. Look at this.
Hi there.
Hello! Oh!
What's up? How you been? So, sorry.
Back to the
Gacy-
KFC manager life of
The
Tom
offer
Gacy.
was lucrative. Gacy would receive $15,000 per year, which is the equivalent of $115,513
Jesus
as of
Christ.
2020. So I guess it really was lucrative to be the boss man at KFC. And yes, I know you are Chokeberry.
Chokeberry, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Where have we been?
Hey, you can't do musical references. I will go off on a tangent.
Yeah. Because I see. Did you see this one? So they married in 64, but I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers
I'm hearing
bled.
in my head.
Was the summer of 69.
Real fast. Chokeberry, we've been here the whole time. We've been
Finger licking good.
This is our 10th episode, man. We've been here. Psycho Bunny and Psycho Mantium, we've all been putting out content for the last, when did we start back? In September? Yeah. He's funny as fuck. I love Chokeberry.
Bring your ass back into my lives.
How does he know what my butt looks like?
Every Saturday, every Friday through Saturday, man. And Wednesdays for Natalie. And Sid is on Fridays and Saturdays too. With Into the Fire. So yeah. Did I just kill the vibe? Oh.
So I squirreled. Following the obligatory completion of his management course, Gacy relocated to Waterloo with his wife. He opened a club in his basement where his employees could drink alcohol and play pool. That's not sketchy at all. Although Gacy employed
It's the same
teenagers of both sexes at his restaurant, he socialized only with the young men. Gacy gave many of them alcohol before he made sexual advances. If they rebuffed him, he would claim his advances were simply a joke or a test of morals.
Ooh, maybe next Saturday.
I'll do my Frankenfurter outfit again, I swear. I'll send you a picture.
Do again. Do you want to do
Goddamn motherfucker got blood all over my best clown suit. Yep.
Tom, can you say that in the Macho Man Randy Savage? I've been to the mountaintop.
We've decided that that's how Tom sounds.
Yeah. Tom actually sounds nothing like that. Tom is actually a pretty cool guy.
We've decided he sounds like Macho Man.
Yeah.
And so we read everything in the Macho Man voice now that he sends us. So
Goddamn motherfucker go. Oh, I could. Yes. Oh.
Sid should use Jump Into the Fire as his intro. You know, if we
Ooh.
could get those songs, like, we would.
We get dinged.
We get in trouble when we do stuff like that.
I love the music we use. It's all I get it from musicarchive.com.
Or I call people and get permission.
Yeah. Or you get permission to use it with the thrash metal music and stuff like that.
I just love that he has so many serial killer, like movie serial killer names that he's dealt with in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. James Hetfield.
Yeah.
James Hetfield's quote. He's all smiling. He's all. Yeah.
I like the one with Danzig. It's all whoa.
Mother.
Of course, I made that one, but you know.
All right.
Is your live open act? Yeah, you can totally share it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Chuckleberry.
Please do.
You're awesome.
So let's see. Assault on Donald Voorhees.
What?
Yeah, see?
There's a Myers. There's a Voorhees.
Exactly.
He fucked over a Voorhees?
He did.
How do you fuck over a Voorhees,
I
man?
think he literally tried to fuck him. So.
Oh, right.
I mean, yeah, it's quite literal. In August 1967, Gacy sexually assaulted a 15-year-old boy named Donald Voorhees, the son of a fellow JC. Gacy lured Voorhees to his house, having promised to show him pornographic films. I mean, at least he was blunt about it, right?
You want to see some porn?
Y'all want to see some pornos? Or do you want to see him on dick?
Gacy plied Voorhees with alcohol and persuaded him to perform oral sex. Over the following months, Gacy similarly, I can't speak, abused several other youths. Youths. Including one of whom Gacy encouraged to have sex with his own wife before blackmailing him into performing oral sex on him.
What? Wait.
Yep, that's what it says.
Let me get this straight.
Do my wife and then
Gacy
do me.
was like, look, bro.
I'll be a cuck for you, but
Can you be a cuck?
guess what?
Hey, guess what? You fucked my wife. Now, if you don't fuck me, I'm going to let this out that you fucked my wife in front of me.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait a second. How does this work? I'm sorry. I'm confused.
How does this make me look bad?
I'm sorry. You did stuff to your wife after I finished in your wife.
So, Gacy tricked several teenagers into believing he was commissioned to conduct homosexual experiments in the interest of scientific research.
Jesus Christ.
And paid them $50 each.
Oh, there you go.
So, in March of 1968, Voorhees reported to his father that Gacy had sexually assaulted him. Voorhees Sr. immediately informed the police, who arrested Gacy and subsequently charged him with performing oral sodomy on Voorhees and attempting to assault the 16-year-old Edward Lynch. So Gacy vehemently denied the charges and demanded to take a polygraph. The results indicated that Gacy was nervous when he denied any wrongdoing in relation to both men.
Look at Chuckberry. Look at his last comment. I gotta put it up. You gotta put it up. I'm sorry.
Give me that booty hole.
You took my wife. Now give me that booty hole. Good old Chuckberry, man. Oh my God, you said Donald Voorhees. I'm picturing Trump with a hockey mask. It's great. It's great. I can't do Trump. I can't do it. But
It's okay.
It's huge.
it's huge. It's huge. And these small hands.
I got some hands. So
Witness intimidation.
Gacy publicly denied any wrongdoing and insisted that the charges against him were politically motivated. Voorhees Sr. had opposed Gacy's nomination for appointment as president of the Iowa Jaycees. Several fellow Jaycees found Gacy's story credible and rallied to his support. However, on May 10th, 1968, Gacy was indicted on sodomy charges. On the 30th of August in 1968, Gacy persuaded one of his employees, 18-year-old Russell Schroeder, to physically assault Voorhees in an effort to discourage the boy from testifying. Gacy promised to pay Schroeder $300. Schroeder agreed, and in early September lured Voorhees to an isolated country park, sprayed mace in his eyes, and then beat him.
What the fuck? So Gacy got out of it by luring him to a park and.
No.
Oh.
He paid somebody $300 to whoop his ass. The kid's ass. Yeah. By the way, it did not work because.
Well, yeah.
Voorhees managed to escape, and he reported the assault to the police. And he was able to identify Schroeder as his assailant. They arrested him the following day. While initially denying any involvement, he soon confessed to assaulting Voorhees, indicating that he had done it on Gacy's request. The police arrested Gacy and laid an additional charge of hiring Schroeder to assault and intimidate Voorhees. On September 12th, Gacy was ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation at the psychiatric hospital of the University of Iowa. 2 doctors examined him over a period of 17 days before concluding that he had an antisocial personality disorder, which incorporates constructs such as sociopathy and psychopathy, and was unlikely to benefit from any therapy or medical treatment, and that his behavior pattern was likely to bring him into repeated conflict with society. The doctors concluded he was mentally competent to stand trial, though.
Chuck Berry. Gacy told the guy, "You can't get no infection in your booty hole. It's a booty hole.
It's a booty hole." Have you seen?
It's a booty hole.
Girl, you can't get no infection in a booty hole. It's a booty hole. God damn it. Now I'm going to think of that thing where they're all, it's a booty hole.
I'm going to have to look it up after this now.
Thank
you, Chuck Berry. Thank you.
When they did the magic school bus, they're all, what is that? And it's all, it's a booty hole.
So, between Brent talking about TSOL and us talking about TSOL, we're going to be looking up It's a Booty Hole and TSOL now.
Give me a second. I do have to take a small break.
Yeah.
And let us do
right there.
This one.
We'll be right back. Can tell what that is. Like the light and the glasses. I'm like, she really can't wear glasses and do this.
So this is a section of the report detailing the psychiatric evaluation in 1968 for Gacy. The most striking aspect of the test results is the patient's total denial of responsibility for everything that has happened to him. He can produce an alibi for everything. He presents himself as a victim of circumstance and blames other people who are out to get him.
What?
The patient attempts to assure a sympathetic response by depicting himself as being at the mercy of a hostile environment. Which I'm sorry, in one aspect is not wrong. I like big booty holes and I cannot lie.
Well, he did meet some influential people. He does have photos with President Carter's wife. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, he made it that far.
The interesting part to me is his denial of responsibility for everything that has happened to him. How is that a statement? Everything that has happened to him. He shouldn't have to hold responsibility for the things that happened to him. He has to hold responsibility for the things that he has done himself. Mm-hmm. So that statement doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, no. Makes sense to me because I heard it all the time. Bad stuff was done to me, so I have to do bad stuff to you.
Okay. I get what they're...
That's all I know. That's all I was taught.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
He's projecting on people.
Mm-hmm.
I get that
which
aspect
is the
of
reason
it.
why he's projecting on to younger
Boys.
boys and stuff like that. 'Cause that's all he knows.
Tickle time. How much do you want to bet Gacy invented tickle time?
I think he did. I definitely think he did. He's all tickle time after prison. I know how to tickle time. It's a rope and it's a wood
So
piece.
his first conviction and imprisonment on November 7th, 1968, Gacy pled guilty to 1 count of sodomy in relation to Voorhees, but not guilty to the charges related to the other youths. Gacy claimed Voorhees had offered himself to him and that he had acted out of curiosity. His story was not believed. Gacy was convicted of sodomy on December 3rd and sentenced to 10 years imprisonment to be served at the Atamosa State Penitentiary. I was all,
The crazy thing is that I know the time is, sodomy actually did kind of represent like a child molestation and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But they're not specifying that he was a child molester or he was engaged in statutory rape or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was,
sodomy.
Well,
it was sodomy.
At that time,
Yeah.
sodomy was illegal because don't do butt stuff.
Yeah.
That same day, his wife petitioned for divorce, requesting she be awarded the couple's home and property, sole custody of their 2 children, and alimony. The court ruled in her favor, and the divorce was finalized on September 18th, 1969. Gacy never saw his first wife or children again. During his incarceration in the Atamosa State Penitentiary, Gacy rapidly acquired a reputation as a model prisoner. Within months of his arrival, he had risen to the position of head cook. I read that as head cock, by the way. Gacy's favorite song is "It's Raining Men."
Yes.
It's raining men. Hallelujah. I'm sure it's really weird to see Pogo and Captain Spaulding singing "It's Raining Men."
Pogo and Captain Spaulding.
Singing "It's Raining Men."
Pogos
Yes.
and Captain Spaulding.
Singing "It's Raining Men."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not. All the lyrics just went through my head, and I don't know why, but Tu Wong Fu just came to mind.
Yeah. Which is one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie. Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for the memories, Julie Newmar. Within months of his arrival, he had risen to the position of head cook.
Ooh,
He-
stop real fast.
Oh.
Sykes, are you coming to Bakersfield? I have a long drive from here in Bakersfield.
You're in Bakersfield?
You're in Bakersfield, man. Why didn't you freaking send us a message?
What the hell?
You would have been here right now.
We're here. You could have joined us. God damn it. I bet Gacy's favorite pickup line was bend over and spell run. Dear God. Okay.
Next time, Sykes, next time you're in Bakersfield, let us know. We'll set something up.
He also joined the inmate JC chapter and increased its membership from 50 to 650 men.
What is the JC? What is it? What is that for?
Are you going to make me do this?
Yeah, because I'm curious now. What is JC
Oh,
for?
look at him. He's so cute.
Yeah.
Precious. No. Well, no, not her.
No, that's Karen's. What are those?
It's an international civic organization.
Oh, and then there's a random ad that popped up for cats with glasses on.
That was great, actually. Good timing.
No problem,
So-
Sykes. Thank you.
He also joined the inmate JC chapter and increased its membership from 50 to 650 men in the
Jesus
span of less than
Christ.
18 months. He is known to have secured an increase in the inmates' daily pay in the prison mess hall and to have supervised several projects to improve conditions for inmates in the prison.
No wonder why he was a union leader. Jesus Christ, look at that shit.
Gacy once oversaw the installment of a miniature golf course in the prison recreation yard.
What the fuck?
In June of 1969, Gacy was denied parole. To prepare for a second scheduled parole hearing in May 1970, Gacy completed 16 high school courses for which he obtained his diploma in November of 1969. On Christmas Day in 1969, Gacy's father died from cirrhosis of the liver. When told the news, Gacy collapsed to the floor sobbing.
Was Shawshank Redemption based on John Wayne Gacy?
No.
Like, he went to prison,
No.
and they were like, we're not letting you out.
No.
Because you gave us golf course. You gave us mini golf course.
Dufresne was not a bad guy.
Andy Dufresne. That was the longest night of his life.
And things I wouldn't even want to imagine.
Had a long night with a person named a Christmas tree.
And his request for a supervised compassionate leave to attend the funeral was denied.
Access denied.
For once, because never get Gacy popcorn.
Never eat Gacy's popcorn. Never know what you're going to put your hand on.
Ha ha! It's all wiener. I'm going to say it out loud. It's all Gacy wiener right there.
So Gacy was granted parole within 12 months of probation on June 18, 1970, having served 18 months of his 10-year sentence. Conditions of his probation included that Gacy relocate to Chicago to live with his mother, and he must observe a 10 p.m. curfew. On his release, Gacy told a friend and fellow JC, Clarence Lane, who picked him up from prison and remained steadfast in his belief of Gacy's innocence, that he would never go back to jail. Ah! He intended to reestablish himself in Waterloo. However, within 24 hours of his release, Gacy had relocated to Chicago. He arrived there June 19th and shortly thereafter obtained a job as a short-order cook in a restaurant. On February 12, 1971, Gacy was charged with sexually assaulting a teenage boy who claimed that he had lured him into his car at Chicago's Greyhound bus terminal and driven him to his home where he had attempted to force the boy into sex. The court dismissed this complaint when the boy failed to appear. On June 22nd, Gacy was arrested and charged with aggravated sexual battery and reckless conduct. The arrest was in response to a complaint filed by a youth who claimed that Gacy had flashed a sheriff's badge, lured him into his car, and forced him to perform oral sex. Yeah, because that totally sounds like what a cop would do, right? Like, here's my badge, suck my dick.
You don't know the sheriff's around here.
You never know.
You don't know the sheriff's in our town.
Hey, Mod!
They know how to show you a good time. Who's Mod? Who's Mod tonight? Is it Natalie?
Probably
Natalie.
You know, I think I'm going to get some Tutti fucking Fruity.
Yep.
In the context of putting that in with the sheriff, it's kind of funny.
Actually, ours was the CHP.
I love this. If you're going to start the killing, you best start right here. Make sure I'm all the way dead because I'll come back and make you my bitch.
I love Captain Spaulding.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it.
Lily, thank you.
All right, so the Iowa Board of Parole did not learn of these incidents, and 8 months later, in October of 71, Gacy's parole ended. The month following, records of Gacy's previous criminal convictions were sealed. With financial assistance from his mother, Gacy bought a ranch house near the village of Norridge in Norwood Park Township, an unincorporated area of Cook County.
Did you just
trying?
Not on the screen.
I didn't get it.
Skyrim on this.
I didn't get it. I was trying to kill a fly. So a part of metropolitan Chicago. The address was 8213 West Summerdale Avenue.
Is this the one that was actually
is where he resided until his arrest in December of 78, and where, according to Gacy, he committed all his murders.
This is the one they actually tore down.
Gacy was active in his local community. His neighbors considered him helpful. He willingly loaned his construction tools and plowed snow from neighbors' walks for free, free of charge. Between 74 and 78, he hosted annual summer parties attended by hundreds of people, including politicians. So I want to show you guys what this house looked like.
Yeah, this was the one.
Of course, the picture I have is when they're pulling bodies out of it.
But still, it's oh dear God, it's in the middle of rain. Oh my god, that's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, that's when they were pulling
Think
bodies.
about how nasty that would be, because they had to tear up the floor, pull the bodies, and everything's already soupy and nasty from the bodies, and then walking out in the rain with the bodies. And,
I forgot to mention this is a special long episode that we're doing tonight. Because it's our 10th episode, guys. 10th episode. Tutti fucking fruity.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, it's Mike. Sorry, it's Christopher Michael. When you said "make you my bitch," my mom dropped her fork in the kitchen. Tom, oh, that's a long one. Tom, dear God,
I
Tom.
said that at the beginning, Tom. Were you paying attention?
Well, let me just bring it up because he took the time to write it.
I said it at the beginning.
Yeah. He took the time to copy and paste from Google. Tom, I love you. You're amazing.
Get with it. God. Okay. So, second marriage and divorce. In August 1971, shortly after Gacy and his mother moved into the house, he became engaged to Carol Hoff, a divorcee with 2 young daughters. They were married on July 1st, 1972.
Tom, I wasn't here in the beginning. I was with my son.
Fine, be that way.
Fine. You know, Tom, you go hang out with your family, okay?
You be a family man.
You be a family man.
What the
and
fuck?
You're supposed to be paying attention to us, Tom.
How fucking dare you? Well, do I stutter, bitch?
Well, if you want to
I was
chokeberry,
looking at the one above it.
See, I have some top secret clown business that supersedes any plans you might have here for this here vehicle.
you gotta read the next part of it. Which is it?
Which is,
Where's it at?
where the hell are you going? Damn it. Don't you never turn your back on a fucking
Then
clown
he
when he's
punches her in the
talking to
face.
you. What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny? You best come up with an answer, because I'm going to come back here and check on you and your mama. And if you ain't got a reason why you hate clowns, I'm going to kill your whole fucking family. There, I did it again. You're welcome. So, his fiance and stepdaughters moved into his home soon after the couple announced their engagement. Gacy's mother moved out of the house shortly before the wedding. By 75, Gacy had told his wife that he was bisexual after the couple had sex on Mother's Day that year.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He informed her that this would be the last time they would ever have sex.
What the fuck?
Happy Mother's Day. I'm bi.
Happy Mother's Day, exactly.
It's the last time you're getting this dick.
You're gonna get this dick never again. I mean, why?
Thank you, Chokeberry.
I mean, seriously, like.
By the way, I also like dick, and
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. You ain't getting any more of this.
No, he didn't he proclaimed he was bi, but it really came down to I'm gay.
Why did he say he was bi then? Like,
Well,
I'm
you ain't never getting this
bisexual,
shit
so
again.
Well, maybe
you're
because
never
he
getting
can
any
get
of
it up
this.
with females.
I
He
guess.
got it up with her that day.
Well, and then he has kids, and by the way, his daughter is gorgeous.
Really?
Yes.
And I didn't
Oh,
even
we
pull up
should've
any
found
pictures.
Should have found that.
Oh,
Oh,
they have an
right.
interview with her.
Oh, interesting.
They did an
Oh, maybe a
autopsy
second-
and dissected his brain. I watched that too.
Oh, did he find
God.
lesions and everything on his brain?
They didn't find anything. On his brain.
Really?
The one that was interesting to me was Ted Bundy's brain, not having any signs of frontal lobe damage or anything like
Ted
that.
Bundy was actually the exception to like all the serial killer stuff because
Mhm.
he literally had no problems, like no problems,
But
and he was just a fucked up guy. Like he was fucked up from birth.
just goes to show you.
Officer Y fucking Dell to the rescue.
Whereas, like William Bonham, who was a freeway killer, like he was like the first or second freeway killer, the I-5 killer here in California. He had major lesions to his brain to impulse control his frontal lobe and everything like that. How shit on?
I'm not putting that up. I'm not.
That's hilarious, though, Chokeberry.
I gotta get this hair out of my fucking face and continue.
I'm like, man, this paint is like
It's all over the place.
it just.
He began spending most evenings away from home, only to return in the early hours of the morning with the excuse that he had been working late. His wife observed Gacy bring teenage boys into the garage and found gay pornography and men's wallets and identification inside the house.
Men's wallets?
When she confronted Gacy about whose items they were, he informed her angrily that it was none of her business.
And that's when she bought a strap-on.
Yep.
That's when she went to
I'm
pay
kidding.
you.
It would have
Following
marriage.
right. Well, just really want to say about
Probably.
marriage.
I definitely think it was a top, not a bottom.
He didn't say how he wanted
Gotta
it.
take into account his belly.
Yeah. Just flop it down the butt cheeks.
Okay, let's
Okay.
all right. So, following a heated argument when she failed to balance a check correctly in October of 75, Carol Gacy asked her husband for a divorce. Gacy agreed to his wife's request, although by mutual consent, Carol continued to live at 8213 West Summerdale until February of 1976, when she and her daughters moved into their own apartment. A month later, on March 2nd, the Gacy's divorce decreed upon the false grounds of Gacy's infidelity with women was finalized.
So she was basically like another BTK wife. Like BTK killer. His wife knew what the fuck was going on. If she was there in
Hey,
76,
Justin!
she knew what was going on. There is no way she didn't know he was hiding bodies under the freaking floorboards.
Totally.
So, in 71, Gacy established a part-time construction business, PDM Contractors. The PDM stood for Painting, Decorating, and Maintenance.
Sure.
With the approval of his probation officer, he worked evenings on his construction contracts while working as a cook during the day. Initially, Gacy undertook minor repair work. Minor repair, huh? Such as sign writing, pouring concrete, and redecorating, but he later expanded to include projects such as interior design, remodeling, installation, assembly, and landscaping. In mid-1973, Gacy quit his job as a cook so he could commit fully to his construction business. By 75, PDM was expanding rapidly, and Gacy was working up to 16 hours per day. In March of 77, he became supervisor for PE Systems, a firm specializing in the remodeling of drugstores. Between PE Systems and PDM, Gacy worked on up to 4 projects simultaneously and frequently traveled to other states. By 78, PDM's annual revenue was $200,000. Over $200,000.
Led to his downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Justin says he hides bodies under floorboards.
Well, good for you, bro.
Working with PE Systems is ultimately what started the downward.
I bet you that game of Twister ended weird on Valentine's Day.
Well, how did it add to his downfall? Like, did it?
Him
what-
having-
It's caught.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, I'm not the Gacy expert. I am the very much Kemper expert, but Gacy.
We had so much fun with the Kemper one.
Yeah, Kemper. I'm like, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
As I'm sitting there going, Intermatio!
Intermatio!
Because it said Intermatio, I was like, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling I know what this means. I looked it up. I was like, yeah, forced sodomy. Okay. But you got to give it, the double R's. Intermatio!
Gotta roll the R's. Intermatio.
So where are y'all from? We're in California.
We are in California, Southern California, the very northern tip of Southern California.
How
Because
about
we get the
you?
Disneyland.
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
Because we get the Disneyland.
Do y'all enjoy
Discount.
haunted attractions? Why, yes,
Yes.
we do.
We do.
I used to work in the one that we used to have here in town.
We're near Green Acres.
The one that would come in as a pop-up, and it was like they'd hire actors.
By the way, we're totally going to go find these underground ones. Just saying.
Yeah, now we are. Well, we're going
What's
to go
happening?
around on Saturday.
It's fucking happening.
It was
We're off
so
Saturday.
fun. Just
Exactly.
scare people.
Everyone's going to wear a mask anyway. It's Halloween. Everyone's wearing a mask. Who
Iowa
cares?
or Ohio. Nice.
Ooh. I am so sorry for you right now with the political ads. Jesus Christ. Ohio's the battleground state for everyone.
Through his membership in a local moose club, Gacy became aware of a Jolly Joker Clown Club, whose members regularly performed at fundraising events and parades in addition to volunteering entertaining at a children's hospital. In late 75, Gacy joined and created his own clown characters, Pogo the Clown and Patches the Clown. He described Pogo as a happy clown, whereas Patches was a more serious character.
Right. Sorry, I think I hit a button. I was like, yeah, all the political ads in Ohio.
Yeah.
This was his in with the kids.
Gacy seldomly earned money for his performances and later said that acting as a clown allowed him to regress into childhood. He performed as both Pogo and Patches at numerous local parties, political functions, charitable events, and children's hospitals. Sometimes Gacy would remain in his clown garb after a performance and briefly drink at a local bar before returning home. Gacy's voluntary public service as a clown throughout the years of his murder led him to be known as the Killer Clown. Hey, Damon Baird! How are you, man? Hello, good sir. I hope you're doing well.
What's going on? You're quiet.
I'm confused.
I don't know who's sexy as fuck, but
she doesn't want to admit it, apparently.
There's two chicks here. I'm not.
It's you.
He is sexy as fuck.
I have silver fox in my beard. That's all I got. Sorry, guys. And this dick. That's all I got for everyone.
These nuts.
These nuts. as Pogo would say.
Much of PDM's workforce consisted of high school students and young men. Tom. Yes, Tom, you're sexy as fuck. That's who it is.
Right.
You.
Damon. Oh, me?
He says you. There's 3 yous here.
There's 3 of us.
3 Utes.
But thank you if it's me. Thank you for her if it's her.
I'm like, hey,
well, Damon, if you're down with all that shit.
The green hair.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So much of PDM's workforce consisted of high school students and young men. Gacy would often proposition his workers for sex or insist on sexual favors. Boobs.
I'm always the titties.
It's the titties. It says misfits.
You know what? It's something with you army brats. I'm not army brats, but you guys.
We're not army brats. I guess technically I became one at one
You
point.
guys are
Oh,
army.
yeah. So I shared this in the veterans group, and someone was like, what the fuck does this got to do with veterans? I'm like, I am one.
We're both.
Shauna's a
We were
veteran. Veterans.
And we're crazy.
And I'm
At
like-
least I am.
And I'm over here. I got scared because my friend back in high school
Clowns.
became a Marine recruiter, and then he wouldn't stop calling me over left and right when I got out of high school. I'm like, bro, knock it off.
Okay, so he would proposition his workers for sex or insist on sexual favors in return for acts such as lending his vehicle, financial assistance, or promotions. He also claimed to own guns, once telling an employee, do you know how easy it would be for me to get one of my guns and kill you? And how easy it would be to get rid of the body? It's not just the titties, I promise. Well, thank you.
It's the 60s. It's the fucking 60s or 70s in
If I
Chicago.
wanted to listen to an asshole, I'd fart.
Like, guns were actually given to everyone. Who's
Hey!
Yolanda?
She's one of my veteran
Hello!
buddies. She's former Navy.
Ooh,
Awesome.
And
I love the
Amber.
Navy.
This is one of my friends here, too.
I love the Navy.
That's the Illinois way. Yes, serial killers. You produce them. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
Right.
Yep. So in 73, Gacy and a teenage employee traveled to Florida to view property Gacy had purchased. On the first night in Florida, Gacy raped him in their hotel. After returning to Chicago, he drove to Gacy's house and beat him in his yard.
Must have been a long
Gacy
drive.
told his wife he had been attacked for refusing to pay him for poor
Jesus.
quality work.
That must have been a long fucking drive back.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Just
Jesus.
awkward.
In May of 75, Gacy hired 15-year-old Anthony Antoniucci. Or you'd think being Italian, I could pronounce this shit.
You're Sicilian.
And Antonucci.
Azazel! What's
Hey,
up?
Azazel, what's up?
You all the crazy, we crazy bitches.
We crazy
Yeah.
bitch.
You guys all are. No joke.
We like to scare people.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Gacy went to Antonucci's home. The two drank a bottle of wine, then watched a heterosexual stag film before Gacy wrestled Antonucci to the floor and cuffed his hands behind his back. One cuff was loose and Antonucci freed himself while Gacy was out of the room. When Gacy returned, Antonucci, a high school wrestler, pounced on him. He wrestled Gacy to the floor, obtained possession
Excited Gacy.
possession of the handcuff key, and cuffed Gacy's hand behind his back. At first, Gacy threatened Antonucci, then calmed down and promised to leave if he would just remove the handcuffs. Antonucci agreed, and Gacy left.
Fucking Azazel.
Antonucci later recalled Gacy told him, "Not only are you the only one who's got out of the cuffs, you got them on me."
Azazel.
Are you talking about Dad? He was a joker. Fear boner?
Amber.
What the fuck?
I don't think it was a fear boner. This dude, like, it just came out.
Gacy wasn't a bottom though.
No.
So
Like, are you talking about Dad? He's a joker. Nice. Fear boner. I brought back up fear boner.
fear boner.
Can't go wrong with a fear boner.
All right.
I guess you can. I don't know.
So, we're ready.
So
Before you get to the next one,
on
that says
July
A month later.
26, 1976, Gacy picked up 18-year-old David Cram as he was hitchhiking on Elston Avenue. Gacy offered him a job with PDM. He began to work the same evening. On the 21st of August, Cram moved into his house. The next day, he and Gacy had several drinks to celebrate his 19th birthday, with Gacy dressed as Pogo.
this is the same dude that he
Gacy
raped.
conned Cram into donning handcuffs in front of his body. Gacy swung Cram around while holding the chain links or linking the cuffs. Then said he intended to rape him. Cram kicked Gacy in the face and freed himself from the cuffs. A month later,
You
Gacy
are the
appeared at
second
Cram's
person who got on
bedroom
this.
door intending to rape him, saying, "Dave, you really don't know who I am.
Dave.
Maybe it would be good if you
A Space
give
Odyssey.
in to what I want." Cram resisted, straddling Gacy, who left the bedroom, stating, "You ain't no fun." Cram moved out on October 5th and left PDM, although he periodically worked for Gacy over the following 2 years. Shortly after Cram moved out of Gacy's house, another employee, 18-year-old Michael Rossi, moved in. Rossi had worked for PDM contractors since May of 76. He lived with Gacy until April 77. Rossi sometimes assisted Gacy in clowning at grand openings of businesses, Gacy as Pogo and Rossi as Patches. So here we go.
That's the guy.
Yes,
So, real
Rossi may have actually been his accomplice.
And the other
He's
guy.
into the piddly diddly.
The fact that he actually got on top, he proved to Gacy that he was the top. He became Gacy's father. That's why he kept working for him, and Gacy never fucked with him again. Because he was like, "I'm stronger than you.
Well,
I'm gonna beat you." And Gacy's like, "I'm not gonna fuck with you."
there is a theory
Oh, he had
that he had accomplices. In fact, when he was caught, he said, "Did you get the other guys?"
the to have as many victims as this guy did.
But then they went, "What?" And he's like, "What?"
He had the exact same setup as Dean Coral. He did.
Mhm.
He had the same setup as Dean Coral. He did the kind of the same things. He had when he started, he had his game room where he invited boys
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which Dean Coral did the same thing, and Dean Coral was sexually assaulting boys. And then he did all this other stuff. And there's no way to have these victims without having accomplices, and these were the accomplices.
Bob was the dog's name. The gag ball never fit.
Yeah, right?
So, do we want to get into politics real fast?
So if we get into politics,
Mm.
just so we can be fair, Ted Bundy was a Republican.
And Gacy was a Democrat.
Gacy was a Democrat.
So we're not demonizing any side. We're just stating facts.
Yep.
So Gacy entered local Democratic Party politics, initially offering us
One of these guys are Trump supporters.
use of his employees to clean party headquarters at no charge. He was rewarded for his community service with an appointment to serve on the Norwood Park Township Street Lighting Committee.
Street Lighting Committee.
Yeah, it's a
So
thing.
this was like fall.
Subsequently earning the title of precinct captain. In 1975, Gacy was appointed director of Chicago's annual Polish Constitution Day Parade. He supervised the annual event from 1975 to 1978. Through his work with the parade, Gacy met and was photographed with First Lady Rosalind Carter on May 6th of 1978. The event later became an embarrassment to the United States Secret Service. In the picture, Gacy is wearing an S pin, indicating a person given special clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus fucking Christ. So Gacy was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because Bundy he mingled in the
Bundy-
political crowds
Bundy did, but it was like the
and
Bundy.
the community service.
Yeah,
too.
it was a community service. It was going
Oi!
door to door.
Ow! Oh, God! Okay.
Whereas like Gacy got to the First Lady,
Yeah.
which
But he wasn't
Shows-
really into...
But he didn't want to diddle her, so
Yeah.
no, but it shows.
So here's what we get into the brutal shit right now. Okay, so Gacy murdered at least 33 young men and boys, buried 26 of them in the crawl space of his house. Gacy usually lured a lone victim to his house, although on approximately 3 occasions, Gacy had what he called doubles, 2 victims killed in the same evening. Several victims were lured with the promise of a job with PDM. Others were with an offer of a drink, drugs, or money for sex.
That
His
is,
victims included people he knew and random individuals lured from Chicago's Greyhound bus station in Bughouse Square or simply off the streets. Some victims were grabbed by force, others conned by believing Gacy, who often carried a sheriff's badge and had a spotlight on his black Oldsmobile, was a police officer. Inside Gacy's home, his unusual modus operandi was to ply a youth with drinks, drugs, or generally gain his trust. Gacy would then produce a pair of handcuffs to show a magic trick. And sometimes, as part of a clowning routine, he typically cuffed his own hands behind his back and then surreptitiously released himself with the key, which he hid between his fingers. He then offered to show the intended victim how to release himself from the handcuffs. With his victim
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
manacled and unable to free himself, Gacy then made a statement to the effect of, "The trick is you have to have the key."
And then that's when
Gacy referred to this act as restraining his victim as the handcuff trick.
That's when Gacy
Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these.
And like that's when Gacy actually like got the rope trick out, which was a
That's what handcuffs are for. Tricks.
right.
fun. I have some in my car. I'm not joking. They're in the center console.
Well, Liz,
Should we be worried?
I invited Shauna over for a reason. I'm kidding.
So,
It's my love of musicals.
exactly.
These are my love in musicals. It's all snapped behind my back.
On a
What's going on
side note, my teacher or my instructor for my course right now to get a raise in where I'm working, we were doing like the online training, and he would be like, talk to somebody, so and so, can you hear me? And I'd go on the microphone, Papa, can you hear me? He was like, I only know that from Deadpool. I'm like, well, it's Fiddler on the Roof, but yeah, Deadpool counts.
The crazy thing is that we're incorporating all this like musicals in with murder and rape. We're all, "Can you hear me?"
But can you hear me?
As he's snapping the handcuffs. Papa, can you hear me?
Let's do this.
I just saw the word fellatiate, so this is going to be interesting.
Bro, how do you
Having
fellatiate?
restrained his victim, Gacy proceeded to rape and torture his captive. He frequently
fellatiated him.
began by sitting on the chest before forcing his victim to fellatiate him. He
Okay.
then inflicted acts of torture, including burning with cigars, making his captives imitate a horse as he sat on their backs, and pulled upon makeshift reins around their neck, and violation with foreign objects such as dildos and prescription bottles. After he had sodomized his captive, to immobilize his captive's legs before engaging in acts of torture, Gacy frequently manacled their ankles to a 2x4 with handcuffs attached at each end, an act inspired by the Houston mass murders. He dragged or forced several victims to crawl into his bathroom, where he partly drowned them in the bathtub before repeatedly reviving them, enabling him to continue his prolonged assault. Gacy typically murdered his victims by placing a rope tourniquet around their neck before progressively tightening the rope with a hammer handle.
Well,
He referred to this act as the rope trick. He was really into the clown game.
The rope trick was actually, if you really think about it, was a piece of wood.
Well, yeah,
About this
spinning
big.
it.
Two pieces of the rope was turned around like this, and then he twisted it around his neck. And it
Oh,
was,
sorry. Yes, it's Yentl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He.
You're right.
That's how he murdered his victims. And
Well, it's Barbara Streisand. Of course you hate it.
Hey, you got a problem with noses?
It's not the nose.
I
It's
love
the
noses.
voice. It's the voice, okay?
I love noses.
So he referred to this act as the rope trick, frequently informing his captive, this is the last trick. In at least one instance, he had read a section of Psalm 23 as he tightened the rope around the victim's neck. Occasionally, the victim had convulsed for an hour or two before dying. Although several victims had died by asphyxiation from cloth rags stuffed deep into their throat, except for his two final victims, all were murdered between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. After death, Gacy usually stored the victims' bodies under his bed for up to 24 hours before burying his victim in the crawl space, where he periodically poured quicklime to hasten the decomposition of his victim. Some of the victims' bodies were taken to his garage and embalmed prior to burial.
He actually took the time to embalm them.
Well, he did assist. He was an assistant.
He wanted to preserve them,
But
so he could revisit
so
them.
he would slice in the arteries, pull out all their fluids.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, man!
So I want to show you guys a picture. That was inside his crawl space.
So police initially thought that the lime was there to keep the moisture out of the crawl space,
Mm-hmm.
which no,
No,
it's to hide the dead bodies.
It was just to
This
hide
is
the
them
smell. Oh,
tearing up the entire house, looking for the bodies.
Do you realize? Okay, real fast. His victim count would actually be much higher if he was smart enough not to hide the bodies
In his own
under
house.
his floorboards. Right?
So, one of the things that I didn't get to mention. No, we already mentioned all of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to show you guys this picture. So you have Kentucky Fried, Kentucky Fried Gacy.
There's KFC Gacy. There's Pogo Gacy.
You have Pogo
And there's
Gacy, and then you
Arrested
have
Gacy.
Arrested Gacy.
Now, we haven't even seen his final form yet.
And he's happiest when he's been arrested. it seems
Yeah,
like.
apparently. I like chicken fried. Kentucky Fried Gacy.
Okay. So we've gotten through.
Let me see here. Let me
How many
make.
pages.
So,
That's 7 of 29.
We got a lot.
I did not have 29 pages, did I?
Yeah, it says
No, I had 8.
29.
Oh, son of a whore.
So, well, and this is if we're going to do the victims. So we're at 8:30 right now.
Okay.
Do you want to do a part 2?
We are going to do a part 2.
You could discuss the most notable one was the one who got him caught.
Okay.
The one that he picked up at the pharmacy.
Let me see.
Which is
Preceding years. Investigation, search warrant, surveillance, civil suit, second search warrant, search for victims in the crawl space. Oh God, there's another picture.
Oh, and there's a picture of is that Lake Erie?
Lake Michigan. Let's see.
We can do a whole part 2.
We are going to do a part 2, but you know what I would like to do real fast? Here we go. So, some of the bodies that were identified, some of them were not identified. I will actually name their names because, again, we like to mention the victims and make sure that they're known and not just the perpetrator.
We make jokes through all this stuff, but when it comes to the victims, we actually want to make sure
we want to have respect for them.
There is respect for them.
So, Timothy Jack McCoy, age 16. John Bukovich. Okay, come on. I thought these were going to be easier.
They're always Russian names.
Daryl Julius Sampson.
John was an employee, actually.
John was an employee. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Randall Wayne Reffitt. Samuel G. Dodd Stapleton. Michael Bonin. William Huey Carroll Jr. James Byron Hawkinson, actually. Rick Lewis Johnston. Kenneth Ray Parker. Michael Marino. William George Bundy. Gregory John Godzik. John Allen. Oh, come on. What's with the Ukrainian last name? SZYC.
Sizik. Wait.
Sick. Okay.
I heard that one earlier.
John Stephen Prestige. Prestige. Matthew Bowman. Robert Edward Gilroy Jr. John Anthony Mowry. And the most recent victim to be identified was James Hawkinson, whose body was previously known as Body 24. He was identified in July 2017. There are about 6 other victims that were in the crawl space that have never been identified.
Jesus Christ. So, like,
they're still identifying people.
Yeah. To this day, they're still, like, looking to identify people of what he did.
They have facial reconstructions on...
that's brutal.
On some of the skulls and everything. But we will be getting into this a little bit later.
So we'll get into the trial next week. We'll get into more of what he did next week. And yeah.
Let me see. This is where we stopped, right?
We stopped at the first murder, the first prolific murder. Right there.
Timothy McCoy.
Yeah. That was his first murder, but
wow.
The one that got him caught was not John. It was the one that he picked up at the pharmacy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Dumbass, his mom was waiting outside for him.
So his mom knew.
Sizik. Or sick.
Psych. Psych.
No, it's not him. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll do this research a little bit later.
But yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. We have been having a lot of fun doing this. So for Okay, so tomorrow we're going to finish off the Hellbound Heart.
We are going to do it.
Or-
We have 3 chapters left, and we are doing it.
Even if it takes a little bit too long.
Yeah.
We're going to finish off the Hellbound Heart with the Banned Book Club for PBDC. And then...
we are doing Halloween stuff. Mother Gray Moore is not going to be on Wednesday.
Yeah, Mother de la Mort will not be on this Wednesday. She is going to take a quick break.
But she will have, we
but
will all have some Halloween stuff.
We are all going to be posting some kind of Halloween-y thing throughout the week, just because we're getting ready. 5 more days, guys.
Sid will be on Friday.
Sid will be on Friday and Saturday for WLFE.
And Into the Fire.
WLFE.
Yeah, sorry.
He will be on for Psycho Bunny Death Cult and Psychomantium 13 Friday, and then WLFE DB Network Radio Network on Saturday. We will be back on Saturday for Psycho Bunny Death Cult and Psychomantium 13.
We have something nice planned for you guys. We are actually going to be at a pumpkin patch.
Yeah. So we might go on twice.
We are going to go on a few times a day.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
Hopefully we have, because we drove by it yesterday and saw it was open. So we will be live if we have connection.
Distortion should be doing a makeup tutorial on Friday. And like I said, we're going to be a little bit scattered this week, but we are going to be bringing you lots of Halloween fun. Yep. Then let's see.
Sunday we'll be back with part 2 of this.
Sunday we'll be back with part 2 of this. And Tuesday is actually our anniversary, our wedding anniversary. And we're going to be doing a cooking episode. And we're going to get to cut the cake. The traditional cut the cake on the first wedding anniversary. And since it went so swimmingly last time, I am really excited for everyone to join us, even virtually, for a replacement reception. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to play a few outros, and we will see you next week.
We will see you tomorrow.
True, but that's still next week.
Right.
Heist. Okay. Let's see. Let's see which one I want to play first.
Bamboo Club.
Swallow me, drip down inside of me. Gobble, 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 swallow me, drip down inside of me.